Alright guys, next segment, here it is. This segment is a lot about keeping the bow staff parallel, so it's going to take a lot of repetition and muscle memory. It's not about knowing it. Once you know it, then you can start practicing it. Okay, so here's how it goes. I just finished my Eagle Wing Power Ranger #1 strike from right here. Next thing I do, I set my front foot to my left foot. Put my right hand below my left hand. The bow staff shouldn't even have moved. This is exactly the same place it was in when I was on the other side during my Power Ranger move. I go right here. My left hand is on my stomach. I'm going to go straight in. Boom! Thrust. Right hand's on your hip. Left hand's here. If you notice, you've switched hands now. So now the left hand is lead. It's just like when you're sparring, you put your right foot in front instead of the left. This is what you have. Okay, next thing you do is going to be your reverse figure 8, which is awesome. It looks so fast, especially with a chrome bow staff. I'm going to take my left foot, explode back to a rear stance, tap the ground. I'm going to go up, first strike. Boom, punch out with the second strike. Rotate up with the left. Now on the next strike, it's going to be just like this. But what you want to do is go from your rear stance to your X stance. And a rear stance and an X stance are opposite stances from each other. Next thing, left hand punches straight out. Your heel goes to your knee. Heel on your knee. That's your thrust. Then you're going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. And there's the end of the segment. Let's break it down. Okay, so the first strike, it's a simple idea, but it takes a lot of work to get it. All right, so this is what we need to do. From our Eagle Wing Power Ranger, this bow staff has to stay right there. So my arm is at a 45-degree angle to the ground. My left hand, I can feel it right on my shoulder. I'm going to step around, but the bow staff has to stay pointing at something. So if you can see from the camera the dots on the mat, I'll put myself right by the dot on the mat. As I come around, I keep that bow staff pointed. I keep this here. I switch hands. I come up. Now I can go nice and slow because I'm drilling it. The bow staff is still pointed. I grab this, and you notice the bow staff hasn't moved at all. It's like there's strings hanging it from the ceiling. Looking at my target, now I move it. Boom! Right into the target. You've got your deep front stance. Really drill that. All right, let's go to the next strike. The next strike is a reverse figure 8. I'm going to do it straight towards the camera. I'm on my thrust. This is the same position if you were doing a 45-degree strike. So first thing I do, drop back to my rear stance. Then I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to pop it down as my right hand comes into my armpit. Boom, just like this. I don't want to bend over a lot. A lot of times you want to keep your hips in and you want to bend your knees more. But this one you're going to have to bend over a little bit. Next thing, you're going to pull it into your face. This is a crossbody. This actually looks just like an uppercut. Then I'm going to push it out. Now my left hand's on my shoulder. I'm going to drive it out this way. And then right here, all my strike is boom. You know, you're at the airport and you realize that your flight's leaving in 5 minutes. You pick up your suitcase real fast. That's it. Pop. Right there. I hope you caught the end of that Jahng Bong jiggling. That's what you got to have for every strike. So, we're on our thrust, 45 strike, set position. I'm going to come back to my rear stance. When my foot hits, what am I going to do? Touch the ground because I have great timing. Pop. I'm going to come up as I go forward. Full rotation. I want to try to keep it up and down as best as I can, as you can see. Then right here, pop, right to there. Now I'm going to hold this position. You'll see this is the same position that I had with the last time that I explained it. The closer hand is right on your solar plexus. Your thumb right on your solar plexus. This hand should be bent. Everything's tight. You look in the mirror and make sure that your bow staff is completely parallel to the ground when you finish your reverse figure 8. On to the next strike. So this strike is pretty simple. It kind of goes in with the second strike. That first, the first strike where you come around and you want to make sure the bow staff doesn't really move. Whenever you do thrusts, you don't want it to go up and out, or down and out, or even, if you can see from this angle, out and in. You want to make them, watch in the mirror, when you're drilling it, make sure that your bow staff stays on the same level. and then it punches out. One easy way is as you go, you keep your bow staff touching your body. So way to learn it. Your right hand is going to be on your solar plexus, and then all you do a little punch, lock out your arm. My wrist is on my solar plexus now. To get this strike right, all I do is take my left hand, boom, and touch my solar plexus. Boom, just like that. As long as you're focusing on keeping that thing parallel, it's going to be, all right? And those two strikes are the same. You're going to go 1, 2, and you want to focus on keeping it as good as possible. I'm still trying to make mine better. Here's how the strikes look. So, from your reverse figure 8, punch, heel to your leg, thrust. Still looking at your target. You're in a middle stance with a good base. Start here, heel, thrust. That's it. Those two techniques have so many details in it that you need to check it, every single little thing that you do with it. Focus on the target when you're striking. Double check yourself in the mirror. Remember, double check is to feel it. Also, that's the first check, and then to really double check it, you actually have to look at your feet, look at the target, look in the mirror, watch the tape, ask your instructor. There's the segment. Let's put it all together one more time. From our Eagle Wing Power Ranger move. I'm going to make sure my bow staff doesn't move much. It's like it's hanging from strings on the ceiling as I move 1 and 2. Prepare here. My arm is on my body. Thrust straight out. Don't do a key up on this thrust, but every other thrust in the form you'll have a key up. Slide back, touch the ground. You pull it into your ribs. Up. There's your first strike. Second strike. Third strike. Pop into that stance. Come back, and remember you want to keep that bow staff on the same line. Heel to thigh. Strike out. Stomp your foot with the strike. Pop. Heel to thigh. Boom. And that's the end of the segment. Good luck, drill it, and you'll see the next segment next week.